What's up, Attack MMA? I'm your host, Zach White, and today I got a very special guest. He's a professional fighter with a 22-5 record, and he's fighting for the UFC at UFC Fight Night August 5th. Please welcome Damon Jackson. Damon, how are you doing today?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. And before we get to the fight, I see that you're doing the weight cut right now. So how's that whole process like?
It's not too bad. Like it gets kind of crazy the last like 5 pounds, but overall, it's like it's not horrible. It's just like some hard workouts, but the whole recovery from not eating, it's kind of crappy. But overall, it's not as bad as everybody makes it.
Yeah. And what would you say your routine is for your typical weight cut?
Like 2 weeks out, I like to start, really, really staying heavy, heavy protein, medium fat, low carbs. I slim up a little bit and I get ready for the cut. And really, it's just like everything that I want to put in, I make sure I'm getting it out. Like, so super clean foods. I don't go all in on organic or anything, but I eat really clean as far as like sodium levels and fat, the certain fats I get and stuff. But, fight week, I come in about 65 and then I cut down, 5, 6 pounds, gain 2 or 3 back. Next day I cut, 5 to 8 pounds, gain 2 or 3 back. So it's just kind of like up and down at that until that last day kind of sucks because you gotta get the weight off and you can't put anything back on. So that last 5 pounds is always the roughest.
Yeah. And would you say you're just like saunas, personal saunas, or do you like to wrestle too? Like, what is the type of stuff you like
Yeah.
to do to cut the weight?
Really, like I try not to burn my legs out too much, but I like to run a lot. Like even when I don't have fights, I run a lot. So, my typical thing is I usually do 15, 20 minutes on treadmill, and then I usually do my whatever my game plan is. Kind of go over it a few times, and then when you start cutting weight, you get fatigued faster. You get like
Mhm.
in a position where you're not as athletic, so you don't want to get discouraged by your game plan and start second guessing what you've been working on the whole camp. So I had a great camp, so that's what I've been focused on. And then now my game plan, or now it's just getting the water weight off. So that's the biggest thing.
Definitely good to hear, man. And now let's start talking about this fight. You'll be versing Billy Quarantillo. So, what do you like about this matchup, and what do you like about your opponent, Billy Quarantillo? So, what's your thoughts on him, and what do you like about his fighting style and strengths?
Well, the biggest thing, man, I'm getting to fight in front of fans, and I know that he's always like a fan favorite. So it's pretty cool that I'm getting matched up with the guy that's gonna be an exciting fight for everyone. So I've been game planning for his cardio. I have great cardio too, so that won't be an issue. I like the wrestling matchup. I like the grappling matchup as well as the striking. So overall, I love it. Love the matchup, and I know he's game to fight, and he'll go all 3 rounds. So it's been a pretty tough camp. I've been going pretty hard.
Definitely. And you mentioned the fans, and it's been a while since you fought in front of fans. I think it's been seven around the Apex or something like that. So, how
Yeah.
excited are you to be in front of a jam-packed crowd once again?
Oh man, and especially Tennessee, man. So it's like I got my kind of people here.
Yeah.
So it's good country music around here. It'll be fun after the fight, and it's just exciting to get out there and have that energy from the fans because they bring a whole different atmosphere. It's like the whole sport's it's just so different when there's no one there. Screaming either positive or negative things. It's like just it's such a really fast paced sport. So to have fans there, it makes it more enjoyable because you get to kind of sit back and listen to it afterwards, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And once I said, like, you've been Apex for like seven times. So, now that hopefully we're done, you're done with the Apex, what's your whole opinions on your time and your experience with the Apex? And do you think the UFC should still be running shows there?
Oh hell yeah! And I mean, it saves them. Like if you understood, like I fight. Whenever I first got in, I was fighting way more consistent. I just took some time off to open my own gym and stuff. But when you're fighting really consistent and you get to know the employees and you see all the work that they have to do, once if you're an employee for the UFC, you're basically living in Las Vegas and you're working 24/7. So it's like for those guys to get to work at home, I'm sure it's pretty nice for them. And like I'm sure, yeah, the crowd would be nice. It would be nicer if there was like maybe 5 or 10,000 people in the crowd. Like if they built a bigger Apex or something, something bigger for the UFC to put their own shows on. It'd be cool. But like having the PI there, cutting weight with those guys, going through the whole thing in Vegas, and you still get that kind of that fight energy from Vegas just because it's such a big, they're such a big supporter of it. So there's a lot of pros to it for sure, but just there's a different energy when you have 20,000 people, screaming. So I'm excited.
Definitely a good way to look at it. And you mentioned that you like that you're in Nashville as it's kind of like a country area, kind of your type of style. So
Yeah.
anything after fight or non-fight related that you're expected to do that you're excited to do after the fight's all over?
I'm gonna definitely have to go find a bull somewhere, either real bull or electric bull.
Yeah.
Find something around here to do. So I'd love to jump on a real bull, but I don't know if the UFC would be cool with that or not. But yeah, no, I'm gonna have a good time after for sure. But I'm focused right now on Saturday night, man. I'm excited.
Definitely. And is there any other locations that you want to fight at with your time in the UFC?
Dude, anywhere, man. I'm game. I'll go back to Vegas. Like I don't care. They know that. Like I'm definitely not a people person, but this is just different. On fight night, you kind of want that. You want that excitement of people screaming when you hit a good punch or hit a good kick or land a big takedown. You want that. You want people to respect that, and it's hard to get that whenever all you hear is your coaches saying your game plan, and you hear the other coaches saying their game plan. So it'll be refreshing to be in that loud atmosphere again.
Definitely for sure, man. And this should be an exciting fight, as you both are exciting fighters. So, do you feel a little disrespected with the bout order as you guys are on the prelims, or does the bout order not really matter to you?
I think that maybe you could look at that in two ways. I think you could look at it and say they're being disrespectful for us, or you could say that they're trying to get more views on the undercard. And that's kind of what I got back from my management team is that, they're obviously they know this is going to be a good fight. They know people are going to tune into it and they're putting us on the card. And this isn't a huge card, but this is a very respectable card. There's a lot of great matchups on the card. And for them to put us on the prelims is cool with me because, then I get to go be a fan for 5 or 6 fights. So as soon as my fight's over, there's gonna be a little intermission. I'll knock out my interviews, and then I'll be back out there with the fans and having a good time.
Definitely, man. And I mentioned this will be an exciting fight, and you do put on exciting fights. So, do you pride yourself with the fact that you're able to put on an exciting fight, and especially now in front of live sold out crowds?
Bro, all I want's to finish. I don't care if it's exciting for you or not. I'm out there to do me and I'm looking for finishes. So however that comes, if it's exciting to people, then that's awesome. And I think he's definitely the same way. He's looking for finishes. He'll take anyone out doing whatever he wants.
Yeah, definitely a great way to look at it. And something also with this fight is that you are the betting underdog in this fight. So
Yeah.
when you look at that, is that something that you look at and is that something that motivates you or maybe you kind of feel disrespected by the bookies or again, is that something that really doesn't bother you at all?
All right. That they've been right and they've been wrong. So it's like it is what it is. You got to go out there and win the fight. And people respect me. I'm not trying to like be proving anything to anyone else. Like I'm out there for myself because no one takes this loss or win harder than me. So I'm out there for myself. I don't really care what people they want to put me at underdog every fight. I'm cool with that. But I'm game to fight. I'll fight anyone any day. I think I've shown that in the past, and I'm just ready to go.
Definitely. And on the past, in your last fight with Dan Ige, unfortunately you did lose that fight, but with a loss and even with wins, you do learn from your fights. So what would you say you learned from that loss that you'll help implement in this fight and in the future?
Just basically being 100% ready to go, physically and mentally for the fight. So, there's definitely some things that were bothering me that fight, and looking back, it definitely is the reason why certain things got caught up, or like how I got caught. So, from here on out, I want to make sure that I'm prepared. But I was in a position in that fight where I really needed to take the fight. So, things worked out great for what it was. And, I took the fight because I really wanted it and I got the opportunity. So I couldn't really turn it down once they gave it to me. So I'm ready to go this fight, man. I'm healthy, physically, mentally ready to roll. And, I'm just excited to get in there with some fans for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. And Dan Ige was a ranked opponent, and you and Billy Q are kind of like just outside the rankings. So, how many more fights do you think you need to get another shot at the rankings?
That's up to the Sean Shelby and the UFC. I can't really sit here and say there's not really any certain way they do it. So I think that if there's a matchup open, after this fight, then I'll take whatever they give me, and hopefully it's top 15. And I'll go out there and get a finish on Billy. That's saying something because this dude's tough as hell, and I know he's gonna be game to fight and ready to go. So I'm looking for that finish Saturday night, and we'll go from there.
Definitely, man. And I know earlier you mentioned that you had a great training camp. So, what made this training camp so great for you?
Honestly, man, I opened my own place and I've been drilling with true beginner level people, like people that have never stepped on the mat, never done jits, never done kickboxing, never sparred MMA. So I think that the biggest thing is that I'm getting to train with all these beginner people that they really look up to me, but I'm actually getting so much out of all the drills that I teach them, because like these are drills that I haven't done in years. For I don't even remember last time I did all these drills like this. So it's been very, very good, and I've been very fortunate enough to like have some time off. And me and my wife traveled. We had a good trip to Turkey, Istanbul, and we went over to Rome and Italy, all over Italy, and we had a great time. And then came back and we opened up a gym, and so we've had that going for about 2 months now, and things have been going great with that. So I've been getting to train with these young guys that are just very eager, very hungry to figure out like everything about the sport. So it's been great for me to kind of take a step back and show them the stuff.
Yeah, that's really great to hear, man. And of course, that's a big decision making and creating and opening up your own gym. So, what led you to the decision to open up your own gym in Lakeside?
It's just it was a matter of time before I did it, and I just thought maybe this is the good time to do it. Take a little break from losing the fight, and things were working out for me good at the time. So I just basically took some time off and just moved forward with it and committed, because I've done this probably 3 or 4 times in the past where I was so close to committing to it and I just didn't because I got a fight or something like that. So I basically just told my manager and told Jason and interim, and I told them, I was like, hey man, I'm gonna do this. Give me a couple of weeks, couple months maybe, and then I'll be back at it. Late July or August. So it's been great, man. I couldn't be more happy the way things are going.
Definitely, man. And on the business side, how's the whole process of opening up your own gym?
I mean, it's a headache for sure, but I think once you have as much experience in the sport plus training people as much as I've done in the past, it's been basically my only job, since high school. So I've been training people for all these years and coaching and doing everything else. So really, it's the only way for me to go. There's no other career path for me besides coaching. And I started coaching my daughter last year in wrestling, and it was just the best experience in the world. And now I get so much energy from those kids and from the team. It's just been amazing.
Definitely, man. And you mentioned the kids as, of course, you coach kids as well. So, what's it like for you to coach kids and the people that are just getting into the sport and don't really know too much about the sport, and you're the ones who are teaching them and kind of guiding them into the sport of MMA?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a lot on your plate whenever you're the one leading them the way that they need to be led, and things that you were shown that you wish you would have been taught differently, or things that you got taught that you really picked up on. It's cool to like show it to them and them have the same reaction, and kind of they have the same setbacks that you had, so you can walk them through those hard times and the good times. It's like it's just really positive energy either way you look at it, and it's just been great. Honestly, it's been it was definitely stressful getting all the license, getting everything squared away. But once all the BS, the legal stuff was out of the way, then it was kind of easy. And I have a really good friend that's one of the best lawyers in Dallas, like Michael Hurst, and he's been a great help for me getting everything rolling and making it all smooth.
That's great to hear, man. And on being a coach, of course, you have great coaches for us at MMA. So, what are some of the lessons that your coaches at Forest have taught you to help you implement for you being a coach?
Yeah, it's not coaches, it's just coach. We have one coach there. It's just the fact, the consistency of him being there every day, even after fights or before fights, like on random hours of the day. He trains people all day. Like still to this day, he trains the same clients. He's up there from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day. So it's really easy to see that hard work paying off, because I'm there with him every day. I get to see everything he's going through, and so he's helped me a lot with like all the step-by-step walkthrough stuff. So it's been a very, very big help, and he's been huge part of my upbringing with MMA and everything else. So it's been great to shadow him.
That's really great to hear, man. And do you plan on expanding and making more gyms and opening up more gyms or anything else in business wise?
100%. Within 6 months, I want to start on the next gym. So I'm trying to push the name out there and make it as big as possible. And I'm working with 24-hour fitness right now, so that's huge. And I got the first location with them, and looking to add on more and more and more. So it's been great, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to push it for the next place.
Definitely, man. Great to hear. And I saw on your Instagram and doing research that you also got a hair transplant. So how's that whole
Hell
process
yeah.
like for you?
I got my beanie on now, but it's I'm about 2.5 months in, and it's already grown in, and it's like it looks like 10 times better than what it did, and it's so cool to see the different because I didn't realize how bad it was. I just kind of do my thing every day. I don't really give a shit about the way I look, so it's like I wear a hat and I'm good to go. And as soon as my hat comes off, then people start talking shit. So now once the hair grows in, I think the only way they'll be able to talk to smack is if I'm not prepared for my fight or something. So that won't happen. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of taking all that arsenal, all that fire. I'm just taking all that away from people. So hopefully, people be a lot nicer to me now.
Yeah, you're trying to get better hair than Billy Q, I say. I like to hear,
Hell
man.
yeah, hell
And
yeah. Give me a year. Give me a year from March. I'll be good.
yeah, man. And my final question for you is, what's your predictions on the main event between Rob Font and Corey Sandhagen?
I think Sanhagen's got it, man. I think Rob wants a killer, but short notice against Sanhagen's not a good call. And just him in general, like it's like when Frankie Edgar's my boy, so whenever he beat Frankie, I kind of gained a lot of respect for him. And it just like he's a tough dude. He's ready to roll, and I think that it's going to be a little bit of a scrap, but I think he gets the finish, second or third round.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. It should be a good one. And before you head out, is there anything you want to plug? Any final words you want to say to your fans?
No, man, I appreciate everybody's support. I have so many people that hit me up about random stuff, and I try to answer everything. So, I appreciate everybody's support, and yeah, thank you guys.
Damon, you're the man. I want to thank you for coming on. Folks, that'll be all for today. Until next time, peace.